And I hereby certify this meeting has been posted in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Okay, so first on our agenda is Howard Woolley to discuss our senior center.
Come on up, Stan.
Senior center parking.
Yeah, the issue came up last time. You guys have been contacted, I think, by the church about the use of the senior lot, and then Stanley just kind of did some pictures here. I don't know, you want to go through them, Stan?
Yeah, this is just on a normal Sunday. That's Ocean Boulevard, and you can see the lot, how full it is. Traffic's backed up all the way down Ocean Boulevard and across Broadway. That's, trying to see what that is. Is that Garfield, Chubb? I can't. There's the parking lot. That's down 2nd Avenue.
Yes, on the left, on the right.
That's Broad. Okay, yes, that's Broadway.
So
that's
that's
coming down
Broadway.
Broadway looking for parking. That's Ocean Boulevard, bumper to bumper all around. That's Ocean Boulevard also. And then same thing, keep going, Mr. Woolley. Ocean Place, that's all the lots that are full there. That's backed up on Ocean Place because they couldn't park. Again, people looking for parking. And then I just want to get to the 2nd Avenue one. That's 2nd Avenue and down Garfield. That's the trouble that we're having. It's just one big bottleneck. So I just wanted to talk about, and there's one more picture all the way down. That's actually Garfield down to the boulevard. And that's the traffic that we
And
have.
when were these pictures taken?
A week ago Sunday.
It's last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
In the morning?
This is
1 o'clock, I guess.
this is about
Yeah.
12. Anywhere depending from 11:30 to 12:30 becomes the situation. The traffic pattern flows south. You know, we get the county to fill up, and then everybody continues to head south, and that's when when the county is full and their parking lot is full, then it's just they're coming straight down onto us. And these lots, now on top of this lot in this area, we have the 2 lots that are on the west side of the Ocean Place. The long skinny lots, those are filled. The Ocean Place is totally filled. The 2 parking garages are totally full. The big parking lot that's the Pier Village to the south, that outside one, that is totally full. Everything down 2nd Avenue is full. Everything up the side streets are full. Belmont, all the way to the OEM building, is full. Brookdale parking lot is full. Behind the dollar store there, that parking lot, Memorial Drive, that's all full. So at this point, people are just circling and just looking, and that's where the backup becomes. Then you go to the church parking lot. Remember, this is only 2 days. It's never Monday through Friday. Occasionally on Saturday, we get incredibly busy, but it's usually on Sunday. The church has 2 big parking lots. One on the west side of 2nd Avenue, which is full at this point. The one on the east side, which is right next to the senior citizen, is not full yet because they don't necessarily allow people in there because their church services end 12:30, 1 o'clock. So, they're not letting anybody in there. So technically, that lot is pretty much full. And, our concern is there's just, at this point, nowhere else for anybody to go.
There's 82 spots in the senior center parking lot that we have. Now, how we work it is, like Dan said, once everything is full, our municipal lot is totally full, everything in the area is full. We have 6 people in the lot on Saturdays and Sundays. 4 of them stay at the municipal lot, 2 of them go over to the senior center lot. They open up the one senior center gate, we fill that up. If the parking lot empties 1 or 2 or 3 cars, the municipal lot, that's the paid lot, empties, we immediately close the senior center gate, even though it's not full, and send it direct to people to the paid parking. So we don't keep it open all day where they're going in and out, but it just, and with the 82 spots, it's just not, I know it's free parking right now, but we're putting bodies on the beach, putting bodies in the business and stuff like that, and people are going around in circles, and that's all we're hearing. What's parking? Parking's absolutely horrible. Where can we park? Everything's full. Where can we go? And by doing that, we noticed that we're getting at least probably 4 to 6 people in a car. It's not just like 2 people sitting in a car, it's families coming down in a car, which we are putting on the beach. So we just want to explain that to you, why we did this and why we thought we'd do it. It's not just random free parking that we give and other people have to pay and stuff like that. It's once the lots are full, then we go ahead and we open up the senior lot and we go back and forth, close it, open it, close it, open it with the paid parking. Again, as Dan's saying, the church on the west side, they had some issues in the beginning, which I think caused some problems. They thought maybe by us letting them go in the senior center. They moved their entrance from the 2nd Avenue entrance over there, right across from the senior center, to between the rectory and the church, so you had to go in off of Chelsea Avenue. So people didn't know how to get into that spot, and we were directing them over there. But last week, that lot was totally full, and after church got out, they felt that both lots were full. I mean, you're welcome to just go down on any Sunday, on a decent Sunday. You'll see what's going on down there. It's absolutely crazy. And we just thought, to have a lot there sitting there, and I totally agree that eventually we should put the meters in there. I know we can't do it this year or whatever if we're going to use it for the parking and stuff like that. But what we're asking for you is to consider letting us use it for the remaining 4 weeks of the season when we have the busy days to alleviate this. On the days that are bad weather days or it's less crowded, we never open that. And it's always maintained and controlled. Either Mr. Riley, Dan, or myself are over there riding around, making sure it's maintained and make sure that it's controlled.
And this, as Stan, myself, and James drive around, because we monitor what's going on in the back in the Chandler Maps parking lot. People, saying, there's nowhere to park. There's nowhere to park. What's the matter with that lot? There's nobody in that lot. And just trying to go with getting people on the beach instead of continuing to head south. And their next option is they're going to drive through Elbron and they're going to end up in Asbury. So we wanted to make sure that we kept them, and they, had somewhere to park, and, they seem to be very excited. And it's not a place where you could say, okay, I'm gonna come down at 12:30 on Sunday, and I'm gonna get to the park for free. You could drive down there at 12 o'clock on one Sunday and not get in, because it still could be locked, because the other parking lots may not be full. Or you could come by at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and that 10-minute window is the only chance you have. So it's not like people can say, okay, I'm going to come down every Sunday at 1 o'clock and pay for free. It's not going to happen. It takes literally 10 minutes to fill up.
I think Dr.
Yep.
Sally has a couple of questions.
Sure.
I think it's a great idea. My only objection is, it is a municipal parking lot, okay, and you should charge.
No, we agree with you, but I don't think there's enough time to do that this year, but it's...
Why not? You can get a tenant for $10 an hour, pay them there and have...
Yeah, but I think it has to be done, it has to be done by ordinance.
We need an ordinance.
Well, but that should have been done 2 weeks ago. I mean, I think it's a great idea.
We've
but I
had it
don't
open
think
for
we
like
should
3
do it
weeks
for
now,
free.
but...
And I'm not too sure the
Are we
meters are gonna be
responsible?
in.
Are we responsible if anything happens on that lot?
Yes.
Same responsibility as we are on the.
The argument can be made that you're inviting people as an adjunct to getting them onto the beach, as has been explained to you by Mr. George. So, they're almost as a business invitee on that lot. The lot's insured, so, it shouldn't be an additional problem for the city. But realistically, what has to happen is you need to have an ordinance in place that allows for the charge to be made, whatever you decide that charge should be.
Do we need an ordinance in place to open our lots to the public for something like this that we historically close?
You either allow free parking or they're closed. So if you want to open them and charge for them, you need an ordinance. And we can draft an ordinance.
And after this is aired, we're going to get phone calls because somebody parked $10 2 blocks.
Well, you have that dichotomy. People are paying to the city lot where you have the whatever number of spaces
Right.
that turns out to be.
Right.
Just to the north, they're paying. and these people would come on to the senior citizens lot, for lack of a better word, for nothing, and I assume the church is the same way.
Well,
We have 3 parking on
church
Ocean
is
Avenue.
paid,
Yeah.
but people can park for free on Ocean Avenue, people can park for free in the
Sure.
Brookdale lots and all that. That's a municipal lot, and it's the same thing, which is right up the street. They're just all full, is what we're saying. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm just looking for the next 4 weeks of the season, if we could get the overflow to put the people on the beach.
What I think the
yeah.
request is to open up this lot free for the next 4 weeks, and then
Yes,
discuss what happens for the entire city. You may want to charge, I'm not suggesting you would, but you may want to charge for all the other municipal lots on Saturdays and Sundays, where traditionally it's been free in the summer times. I don't know.
Stan, I think I'm more upset that you said that there's only 4 more weeks left of summer.
unfortunately. Well, 5, if we can, I think
Oh, 5 now?
No, it is 4, right?
Jimmy, if municipal lots are free and then, and that's city parking, I don't quite understand why you're coming to us, or why, in other words, why don't you just do it? Why are you asking us for it?
I'm not. As a city attorney, I'm
There is-
just advising what you need to do
Like they
legally.
have been.
But why are they asking us if the decision is?
Because the concern was brought up.
What I'm saying is, why is it a council decision where you're saying that it's not?
Right now, as long as the lots are open and used for free,
Okay.
there is no issue.
So that's my point. If it's
There's no
not, if
issue.
it's not a
There's
council
no decision.
decision, why are we having this conversation?
I think it's brought to you for
Three of us.
informational purposes.
3 of us were,
Well, no,
No.
it's out of courtesy because
3 of us were approached.
you were approached by the church. You asked me what the story was on it. I told you that we had allowed it when.
No, I
when the
understand,
lot
but
was
Stan,
full.
Stan,
So I wanted to
Stan is
discuss it
asking
here.
for our permission. What I'm hearing is that there's no permission needed.
There's no permission needed to
Okay,
keep it
so
open.
that's all.
I was told we had to
Yeah,
keep
but
it
we're trying to
closed,
keep
and
everybody on the
that's
same
the
page.
confusion.
No, for informational purposes, I understand. I just want
Yes.
some clarity here that if someone's seeking permission, if there's no permission needed.
There's no permission needed. You need only to an ordinance if in fact you're going to charge. Period.
I think we should definitely move forward with that, whether it's,
This year.
if it's in effect this season or next season.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's not gonna get better.
I'll
It's
consult,
gonna need marketing.
I'll consult with
I agree totally.
Stan. I'll consult with the Public Safety Director, come back to you with a potential plan, and then you'll tweak it and you'll see what's...
How long would it take if you put one?
Look, we can have an ordinance ready for introduction in 2 weeks.
But then you still have to go through the public hearing
Yeah, of
process.
course.
You won't
So
be
it
able to
would
adopt
take
it
us
till after
beyond
Labor Day.
It'll
Labor.
take you beyond Labor Day.
Yeah,
So
let's move.
we will not be able to charge this summer.
Right.
Right. I understand that.
But you'll have
But
these
we
ordinances
have it in motion.
in motion, and you'll have it in place for the fall, and however you want to address it, the various...
If we have,
Oh, I'm sorry.
thank you.
Do we have any more concerns?
Yeah, I have a concern.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
My concern is, after this year, where is all the beach staff going to park? If we start charging for that lot, where's the beach staff since they can't use Pier Village?
We don't know. I spoke to the mayor tonight on, it. He asked me to get a hold of Danny and go around and see what's available and come back to you guys and him in
Because that's
September,
my thought.
and stuff like that, to
We
start
charge if
planning
we're going
early.
to have to use it for beach staff
next year?
parking next year.
Where's the beach staff
Who's
parking?
that we have to use?
Well,
Right now, it's in the
Because
lifeguard
Pier-
lot, right
they
park
right
in
at the
Pier
corner
Village Phase
of, right in the
3
corner of
now.
Morris and no
And they're
traffic.
going to lose that when they start construction.
They're in the triangle lot across
Okay.
Morris
So I'm
Avenue
thinking-
now.
Jim,
Which
if
is
we
gonna
have,
be going
if we
hopefully
start
next
the
year.
ordinance,
Right.
next year, and we need it for lifeguards, what do can we use it for lifeguards?
I think we'd introduce the ordinance next spring because we'll have a better idea going into the spring where Pier Village is going to be with their construction, where we're going to be with other lots. I mean, there's no doubt that we've got an overall problem there. We want to try and urge people to park I mean, the simple thing is you've got 400 space lot by the train station, and you got a shuttle that works down there, but nobody parks there. We've got to sell that better, we've got to market that better. Jake's been breaking his tail trying to do that. We haven't effectively been able to do that yet.
Let's market it better.
Yeah, these are all the considerations that we would have to
Would
get
you answer
involved.
my question? If we created an ordinance for it, to be able to charge,
Right.
can we still use it for lifeguard parking?
Depending upon the language of the ordinance, and if that's what you want to do, an exception can be carved out on notice that the lot can be closed at certain times based on the need for employee parking. That will take precedence over opening it to the public.
But since it won't be effective till next year anyway, why don't we wait and we'll introduce the ordinance in the spring?
I don't think we should wait, I think we should do it now.
Okay, do it now.
Well, I think we should wait because we're gonna do it and then we may not be able to use that lot for beach staff.
No,
But
he just
he's
said
saying
he can carve it out.
he can-
You can't
But-
use
but-
it for staff anyway during the week. You
Right.
can't park there during the week. You
Yeah,
get
that's
tickets.
true.
Okay?
We can start to work on the ordinance, give you a working ordinance to work with. That doesn't mean if it's prepared for you, you have to introduce it that night. You can take your time. You'll have time to do it, and you'll be able to at least solve a bit of a problem for maybe 200 or 300 visitors to the beach in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Does that sound, John? Yeah.
Sorry with me.
Michael? John? Kate?
I'm all right with it. I really think, and I've spoke to both Stan and Dan, we have a huge parking problem.
No
A
kidding.
huge part, and we really need to take a look and not wait till April or May, but in November, October, start looking at the parking and ways we can improve the parking.
I mean, that parking problem exists in West End. It exists all the way up from West End to North Long Branch, and it exists back into the middle of the city.
But I think one of the things that we're in, I went away this weekend. When I came back on Sunday, I'm trying to think the time, probably around 1 o'clock, on the Parkway, the electronic signs were already up saying, Sandy Hook is closed, parking lot's full, the hook is closed. And it's the trickle-down effect.
Sure.
So these people are traveling in, heading to Sandy Hook, can't get into there, they're just going right down
Exactly.
the coast.
That's why, that's exactly
We
it.
can only
That's why we're
accommodate.
trying
I know our
to keep as
beaches
many
are
as we
bigger
can
and
here.
wider and probably nicer, but at a certain point, we're gonna have to say, our parking is limited, or you're gonna walk 2 miles to
People
the beach.
do that. You
Right.
just,
I mean,
Carl.
it's
Carl goes
just
there.
it's
Carl
an
goes there.
inevitable
We used to
thing.
go to Avon. How far did you
I
park?
went to Bradley Beach, usually a half a mile away. I parked by Vic's. I
Boy,
carry my surfboard, my beach wheels for my hobby
Boy.
site from Vic's down to the beach.
There's
That's
another,
what.
you can
Every
Uber.
there's another
We
service.
did
But
not
everybody
have,
does it
we
down
did
there.
not have that problem. We do have that problem now, and they're parking all up Morris Avenue to Third Avenue.
Yes.
I mean, the
They're
busy days, they
parking
parking out here. They're using this lot and walking all the way
There's
down
another
Broadway.
service that we can look at that I saw in Avon one year. I don't know if it's still there, but it was done through an app on your phone, and there was a shuttle service where if you parked far away, you would call the shuttle service. They would come and pick you up and drop you off at the beach, and then when you were done, they'd take you back to the car. And it was a small little shuttle, an open shuttle, and they would.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it was a great idea.
Freddie has some time, don't you, Freddie? You can handle that. Can't you?
Not as a city.
Oh,
I'm talking
is
about.
this a source?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Beach bus.
I'm talking about a private service.
Well, why would we want to do that when we're paying for a shuttle?
Well, let's use the
It
shuttle.
needs a lot of review.
And the shuttle is how much?
$1.
$1. So we have the shuttle, if you park at the train station,
For free.
For free.
we're free.
But just take you right down to the
On
beach.
Saturday and
Sure.
Sunday.
Right to the camera, right to the
Looking
camera.
at the camera. $1 will take you to the beach. And then you can take the shuttle back to your parking at the end of the day.
Brought to you
For
by.
another $1.
Brought to you by.
Brought to you by the city of Long Branch.
Because you remember, we have a tremendous amount of people that get off the train and come straight down Morris Avenue. They don't use the shuttle, they walk. So even walking from that spot is not out of the equation because, you know, after the train lets off, they're in droves on the weekend. Even during the week, they come down all the time. So you can see them walking down,
Thank you.
you know.
And it's not just our shuttle, it is, you look at the numbers, the transit tickets, 'cause you can buy a train ticket and get a beach pass.
Yeah.
those numbers are not as big as the number of people that come in on the train. There are a lot of people who just come down on the train and don't use that deal, and they pay us full tilt
Yep.
to beach bash.
Yes.
So, you know, they're not taking advantage of that. There's a lot of deals that we've got.
That's a deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan?
Thank you.
I do want to note that it's the third consecutive year, not the second, which is what.
It was the third consecutive year.
Okay, we'll talk about it long.
Yep.
Next on our agenda, is Director Robo here? Here he is. We're going to discuss the taxi cab ordinance.
Hello, this is easy.
Yeah.
This is easy. I had occasion to ask Mr. Aaron a question about some taxi cab approvals, and we had to reference a state law that was passed in 2011 to get the answers, and we decided that we should probably incorporate that into our city ordinance just to make sure we're up to snuff. So these are those changes that are technically already in effect and have been in effect since late 2011. Unless
Can you tell us what a few of them more the highlights of them?
some of the highlights are it raised the insurance coverage up to $35,000, which we already did when we changed ours back a few years ago. It also lists certain things in the criminal history that we cannot approve them to have a license now. It used to be kind of up to me, and then, you know, you guys, if they appealed, that's no longer the case.
Can you give us some examples?
Aggravated assault, arson, burglary, escape, extortion, homicide,
Kidnapping.
all the good stuff, kidnapping, robbery, aggravated sexual assault, sexual assault.
Endangering the welfare of the child.
Yeah, all the,
And drug offenses.
and drug offenses.
Now, I remember when they came in front of us, they wanted that, the ordinance reads that it's done yearly. Is that still holding?
It's done every 2 years.
Every 2 years?
It's done every 2 years.
Okay, good.
Yeah, every 2 years
That's
they have
not
to.
changing.
No, that's not changing. Nope, we're just making sure that this is in there so no one can say that it's not. And
There are a couple of people who have questioned this new direction because they have prior drug offenses.
Right.
And they're now upset that they filed an application and they've been told, go get a rehabilitation permit. And they're saying, although they haven't shown it to us, that when they file for the rehabilitation permit, that the state's saying, why are you filing for a rehabilitation permit? You don't need one. So we're gonna have to work through that. But this brings the ordinance for taxi cab drivers, which is a safety valve for you as a council, that they have to comply with this 2011 law.
Have they been informed of this?
the taxi, they should have known back then, and I think they do. I mean, we actually have been going by this for the past 3 years. It just hasn't been put into our ordinance.
Jay,
Any more questions?
Yeah, what was the, so we raised the insurance and we redid the ordinance a few years ago from what to what?
I don't remember what it went to.
It was very low.
It was very low.
5 to
15.
100.
Sorry.
What was it, Jack?
5 to 100.
Okay, and so, I'm sorry, is there a new proposal out?
No, nope, same.
Just staying at 100?
Yep, same, yeah, nope, we're not changing anything else, we're just gonna add these things in there, so, you know, it kinda, like it says, it kinda takes it out of my hands, you know, more than it was
We will
before.
remove the need for you as a council to hold hearings to determine whether somebody is rehabilitated in your mind or not, to give them conditional, to give them probationary terms, etc. This puts it all on the state.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next on the agenda, we have John Vico, tax assessor.
Here we go.
So I asked Mr. Vico to come and inform us. Okay, we got our tax bill. Taxes went up. What can we do?
At this juncture, let's take a step back and think about what the assessment function is. All the assessment function does is apportion the levy, the budget, based on the value of your real estate. And what that establishes, if you will, is the size of the pie of Long Branch that you own. So if you own 1% of Long Branch, in terms of value, you're going to pay 1% of the budgetary obligations of the city. So in November, this year the mailing went out on the 15th, you received the postcard, which most people look at and give that number to their accountant for how much taxes they paid in the prior year. That is telling you what we believe your real estate is worth. And at that point in time, you look at that number and you say, yeah, it's right, or I don't think so. And at that point, you have an option. First option is to give us a call. Second option is to look at sales, and if you believe that there's sales out there that back up what you think your house is worth less than what I do, you can file a tax appeal with the Monmouth County Board of Taxation on or before January 15th. So, and if you own property in excess of $1 million, you have until April to do that. But we recommend that for a lot of different reasons, you go through the County Board of Taxation, because all the hearings will be completed before the end of April, so everything will be adjudicated and prior to our budgets being adopted, so that we have no unfunded liabilities moving forward in the year.
So the time period is from January to April?
No, the time period to file the appeal is you receive the card in November.
Right.
File the appeal on or before January 15th.
On or before January 15th?
If your home is worth less than $1 million.
And you need proof?
Yes, if
By
you,
looking at different assessments?
No.
Or sales?
sales only.
Okay.
The sales establish the value.
You don't get to use other people's assessments as evidence that
Has to be
yours is
sales.
wrong.
Correct. And this is where we start to get in the weeds. You want to look at normal sales. Don't look at sales where the homes, they're under duress, or the bank is selling it. So the sales are posted on the Monmouth County site. Daily, they're updated. And we look at a 3 to 5 year sales history throughout the city. We're doing trending, we're doing various analysis. So we're not chasing the highs, we're not chasing the lows, we're looking at the meat of the market and where we think you are. But we're doing all the properties at once. So we're doing 10,000 properties, you may have that anomaly that we need to have a conversation about. That house that was built in 1400, we have one of them, something like that, the unique properties.
They would call your office, but the appeal would be at the
Monmouth County Board of Taxation. And if we believe we're right, we're going to put on a case showing sales that support that assessment.
Okay.
So John, everybody gets that card in November?
Yes.
And typically it's a 2-month window typically, right? Like from around November 15th?
November 15th to January 15th, the statute states that you have 45 days or until January 15th, whichever is longer. So by some chance they don't mail them until January 1st, you'll have until February 14th, whatever the 45 days are.
45 days?
Yes.
From the time you receive it?
Correct. Or January 15th, whichever is longer.
Okay.
And the other tool a property owner can use, if I'm not mistaken, is they can get their own appraisal.
You absolutely have the right. You can utilize legal counsel. You can hire an appraiser. And a state-certified appraiser is the only one who's allowed to testify at the County Board of Taxation. Real estate agents are not given that privilege. So at the end of the day, we want to get it right because we want everyone to pay their fair share, whatever that number is. Because it's important to remember, you're not appealing your taxes. You're appealing your assessment, the value. However that lands at the end of the budgetary process is where it lands.
When is the next assessment going to be done?
Next year, we're doing it in-house, every year.
In-house in
17.
2017?
Yep,
About what time?
we're doing it now.
Which month?
We're doing it now.
Now?
It's an ongoing analysis that goes on because we have 10,000 properties,
Okay.
and the reality of it is from October 1st to October 31st, Bill and I pretty much lock ourselves in a cave and stare at spreadsheets. And right now, you have to do the easier stuff.
And is your recommendation that when the assessor comes to your house, it's beneficial to let them in?
Absolutely. Because if you don't permit access, we can only assume that you've done all possible upgrades. And if you think about it, it's really the only fair way to go about it, because if you let us in and you have new kitchens and baths and you don't let us in, why do you get the benefit of not an upgrade?
Right.
So the thought is, you let us in, let us get the information, the correct information, so that when we do this analysis, we're using correct data points. This is the only way we can get to the correct answer.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a review of the regular meeting agenda. Does anyone have any questions or concerns regarding the regular meeting agenda? No? Okay. All right, I need a motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I need a motion to adopt the resolution to go into executive session. Excuse me, can we keep it down a little bit? I need a motion to go into executive session for the following. Kelly, Pax Project, The Bluffs, Washington Manor, Lepore, Long Branch Partners, Bournemouth. Do I have a motion? Okay, do I have a second?
Sorry.
Okay.
Mrs. Billings?
Roll call?
Yes.
Mr. Palone? Yes. Mr. Siriani?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Mrs. Vistelli?